The crates under Mr. Gao's care were never unpacked. They were ready to be moved whenever the threat of war got too close.
We could see the planes flying back and forth, so we were nervous. When we got on the Yangtze River, we saw a huge explosion. We were very nervous.
When Japan was defeated in 1945, Palace Museum officials started reassembling the collection, bringing it back to Nanjing from the many storage sites around China, all intact, all artifacts accounted for. And they were still in danger, because with one war ending, another was flaring. The communists under Mao Zedong and the nationalists under Chiang Kai-shek battled for control of China. By 1948, the nationalists were a beaten force. Their only way out was to retreat to the island of Taiwan, 160 kilometers off the coast of the mainland. The nationalists took the best of the imperial treasure collection to Taiwan with them from Nanjing. Such was the power of the treasure that the regime believed possessing it gave them legitimacy over the communists for control of China.
It felt great. Our job was complete. Mission accomplished. Moving it all here, these antiquities, thousands of years worth of culture, moving it to Taiwan. Everyone was very happy.
A total of 3,824 crates were shipped to Taiwan in 1948 and 1949, the cream of the imperial collection. It was initially stored in sugar factories, but fear of aerial bombardment meant a safer refuge had to be found. A cave vault dug into a hill in the suburbs of Taipei, Taiwan's capital, became the final, rather unusual resting place for a treasure that had adorned emperors' palaces for centuries. Having the treasure was one thing, but keeping it in a cave was not an option. As experts went through the collection, taking a full inventory and cataloging artifacts, work began on a museum to be built at the head of the tunnel on the Taipei hillside. 15 years after the cream of the imperial treasure arrived in Taiwan, it was put on public display in 1965. Its new home, the National Palace Museum. The museum resides in Taipei, capital of Taiwan, a regional economic powerhouse and a full democracy. In many ways, Taiwan regards itself as the keeper of Chinese culture. And at the heart of this lies the National Palace Museum.
It's almost like a really big legend, the way these artifacts went wandering from place to place. However, even while this was happening, it's really extremely fortunate that these artifacts were preserved. I believe that this process is the result of a lot of people's hard work. And as far as the artifacts and world heritage are concerned, you could even call it a sort of love.
And now, after the most recent renovation, which cost $21 million and was completed in 2007, the treasure has a fitting home, and the museum is ranked among the best in the world. Three floors, 29 galleries, and hundreds of cases. This is the National Palace Museum in Taiwan. The objects have been handled by only a select few outside the imperial court, since the Emperor Qianlong himself set them down. Precision and care are paramount. Time with these objects is itself priceless and rare, so no slips can be made. There is no room for error. Once all preparations have been made, the system begins to run. The camera is a special design. It takes a single vertical picture over and over again. As the vase rotates, slowly a picture is built up. It's as if the vase is being unrolled, flattened, so we can fully appreciate the artistry that went into its creation. Once the picture has been created, the work isn't over. It's checked in detail by the technicians. Any flaws, and the process will have to begin again. Who knows when the vase will next be made available? Once they're satisfied, the picture will be stored, the 21st century way of backing up historic art. Just as Qianlong did over 200 years ago, the museum continues to catalog the collection. Images like this will also ultimately be available to the public, no longer just kept for the eyes of the emperor and his family. These treasures are being given to the world. But when these treasures were actually made, artistic creation required innovation. And nothing would please Emperor Qianlong more than a clever new invention, such as a vase within a vase. Something as ingenious as this received pride of place in the collection.
把箱子打开，这是草上七五族他们送过的一件器物。
Over 200 years later, the vase retains its fascination. Permission has been granted to investigate the vase at the museum's own restoration facilities. Though first, protocol demands that the piece that has been moved be carefully checked for any damage. Inspection completed, modern technology takes over. Mr. Yang hopes that X-rays will reveal just how the craftsman would have created a piece like this vase. The lead-sealed room is closed, and the plate is exposed to a carefully timed burst of X-rays. The result is revealing and very elegant.
This is from the Qing dynasty, that period. It was made for Emperor Qianlong. It's a revolving vase within a vase. Using the X-ray image, we can see how it was made. In this way, we can see there were 4 steps in making it. It's very complicated. You can see the different colors.
It appears to be a single piece, but is actually made up of several parts, with each part fired separately. First the neck and the mouth, then the shoulder, and finally the body and the bottom of the vase. The components were then put together and fired with low-temperature glaze to fuse them, with the inner vase able to revolve.